Hey, my Pilates people, welcome to my channel, Connect and Move. My name is Jessica. Today I have for you kind of an all levels, full body reformer. A little bit more focus on core pelvis stability and a little bit of upper body. So slowing things down a little bit today, a little bit more focus, smaller movements, right? Which sometimes can be crazy challenging. So you will need your box, your reformer, of course, 2 mediums and a heavy spring. 2 mediums and a heavy. If you do not have a heavy, you can always do 2 mediums, 3 mediums, maybe 2 mediums and 2 lights. You can always adjust, right? Just remember that you can always adjust. No kneeling, right? Box reformer, your beautiful self, and please honor your body, okay? Like I said, make adjustments as need for your body, your equipment. So with all that being said, your headrest is in your comfortable position. You've got your springs on. You're gonna go ahead and lie down. Make sure that you are centered on your carriage here. So let's go all 10 toes on, hip socket distance apart. So we're in parallel right now. Let's go ahead and place the hands on our ribs, kind of our low ribs area here. And just let the shoulders, the chest kind of relax and fall away. And now I want you to take a big expansive breath into those hands. Feel like you're pushing the ribs east and west. And then as you exhale, feel them just kind of soften and draw in and fall into the mat. Let's do that again. Big breath in, east and west, sideways. And exhale, feel them kind of draw in, almost like you're closing an umbrella. Let's do that again. Big breath in. And now I want you to hold the breath at the top where you feel like you can't get in any more air. And then could you sip in a little bit more? One little more sip. And then exhale, blow it all the way out. Let's do one more like that. So I want you to take a big breath in. Think of breathing into the back ribs as well, and then hold your breath and then sip in just a couple more sips of air and then exhale, blow it all the way out. All right, slide your hands down to more your hips or your pelvis area. And now let's take another big breath into those back ribs, those side ribs. And then as you exhale, I want you to tilt your pelvis back and just lightly press your low back into the mat. Inhale, rock the pelvis away. Exhale, tilt the pelvis back. Inhale, rock the pelvis away. So as you do this, how still can you keep your shoulders, your ribs, and also your legs? So I'm not pushing into my feet. I'm thinking of just my low abdominals as what's pulling my pelvis back. Let's do one more here. And now rock the pelvis away. Find your neutral spine. All right, so there's that little baby arch in the small of your back. Your arms are weighted down into the mat, just like you're doing a chest expansion. And every toe pad is connected here. I've got a little lift to my heels, nothing crazy. Exhale out all of your breath here. And then inhale, press the carriage all the way out. And then exhale, pull yourself home. Inhale takes you out. Exhale pulls you home. So how stable can you keep your spine and pelvis up against this resistance? And if you think about this, this is your double leg stretch. It's also your squat. So with each press, could you get a little bit longer? Could your upper arm bones maybe like roll open just a little bit more to try to connect to the mat? For me, my left one is down, but my right one, just cannot connect. Let's do 2. And last one, hold it out here. Let the shoulders relax, maybe just a little bit more, right? So they're not creeping up into the ears. And now start to lower the thighs down first. Drive the heels down and under and hold here. Actively flex your feet and then lift the heels back up. So as you go up and down, think of the back of your thighs dragging across the springs, even as the heels lift. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. You are still holding that neutral spine. So my pubic bone right now, I have to think of it kind of reaching to my knees or to the foot bar. For 2. And last one, now drive the heels under. Keep them driving under, bend your knees, and then hold here. So the carriage, I've moved it in just a few inches. My heels are driving under. I'm gonna also think of pulling down on the foot bar and then drag the carriage in. All right, I might have to slide my feet up a little bit more. Press the carriage all the way out. Flex the feet and then resist as the knees bend and pull yourself home. So what I want you finding, or hoping, I'm hoping that you're finding, is a really good stretch in your ankles, the back of the ankles, the calves, but also kind of a sense of contraction. I don't know about you, but mine are like, there's a stretch, but there's also kind of like a burning, like a good burning sensation, not like a painful sensation. Drag it all the way in. Good, last one here, press it out. Flex, pull down, 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 down. Oh, it feels so good though. Heels come on, hip socket distance apart. Flex your feet, so all 10 toes are looking up to the ceiling. And now press the carriage out on that inhale. Exhale, drag it home. Inhale, press it out. Exhale, drag it home. So every now and then I like to look at my feet and not only see, are they centered on the foot bar, but are my toes doing what my brain is telling them to do? Kneecaps should just be looking up to the ceiling. Thighs are at like a number 11. Inhale out, and again, think of getting longer as you come home. Let's do 3. Tailbone heavy. 2. Arms are heavy. Last one. Now bring the carriage in halfway and little pulses. It's a push, pull, push, pull. Again, all 10 toes still looking up to the ceiling. The weight is right through the center of my heels. For 3, 2, 1, press it all the way out. Now come back in about halfway, maybe a quarter of a way, third of the way, around there, all right? So I want you to really get like connected to your center, stable pelvis, stable ribs, stable shoulders, and also stable carriage. Bring your right leg up into tabletop and then lower the foot back down. Left leg comes up into tabletop and then back down. It's like if you were holding a low squat, keep alternating, and you were going into a single leg squat. So yes, there's a weight shift, obviously, but how smooth can you make this transition right now? Upper arm bones into the mat. Carriage hasn't moved. At least you're trying not to, right? And for me, I'm really feeling a shift go like into one butt cheek to the other butt cheek. I'm starting to feel the back of my legs kick on a little bit more. For 3 and 2. Last one, hold on this side. So whatever leg you have up, hold here. Give me little pulses out an inch and in an inch here. Again, right through the center of the heel. Your legs still look like a number 11. You're still in a neutral spine. For 3, 2, 1, hold that carriage out. Other leg goes down. Opposite leg comes up. Stabilize the hips, the pelvis, all the things. Little pulses. Or the ribs, I meant. Sides of the neck are long here. And like for me on this side, I really want to roll over to the opposite hip. So I have to think of like right hip down because that's the foot that's down. For 3, 2, 1, place the other foot down, square yourself off, press the carriage all the way out one last time, and then drag it all the way in. Nice. All right. So drop your headrest down if it's up. Let's stay with the heels on in hip socket distance, all right? So again, weight down through the arms, big breath in here. On your exhale, tilt your pelvis back, right? There's that pelvic tilt, and just find a little tailbone hover and hold. So my ribs are weighted down into the mat, my chest, my collarbones are open, and then lengthen those last few vertebrae down. Again, legs still look like a number 11. Hold here in that little hover, and then lengthen back down. So in this little baby bridge, how still can you keep your upper body? Yeah, so a lot of times what I see, and even in my own body, is my shoulders want to roll in as my hips start to roll up. But I'm going to fight that, and I like feel my upper back really kick on, which is kind of cool. Let's do 2. Last one. Roll the hips up to that little baby bridge. Keep the stability of your spine and pelvis, and now press the carriage out and then pull it in. So don't lose the weight into the arms. And the pubic bone is trying to stay higher than your 2 hip points. Last one. Pull the carriage all the way into the stopper and then round down, round down. Option to stay on your heels, or you can come to your toes. I think the toes is gonna be a little bit harder in this position. You can always change, right? Nothing's set in stone. So I'm still in parallel hip socket distance, and every toe pad is connected if you're taking that option. Once again, my arms are reaching and they're also weighted into the mat. My heels, they're neither red bottom high nor flat, all right? They're like a little kitten heel. Big breath in here. On your exhale, roll your pelvis back. Can you lift your hips up higher this time? And then hold here. Just hold. And now keep your pubic bone driving up to the sky. Lower your heels down and lift the heels up. Lower the heels down. So it's a flex of your foot, y'all. I'm not just letting my heels drop. I'm pushing them down to the springs with intent. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2. Energy between those ankles, y'all. Last one, lift the heels back up. Can you keep the pelvis and the carriage stable? Bring your left leg up into tabletop and then lower it back down. So we did this with hips down. Now we've got hips lifted. Now, of course, if you wanted to make things harder, arms could go up to the ceiling. But if they do, there's no shift in your pelvis, y'all. No twist in the spine. Front of the throat is open. I could feel the tension creeping up into my neck. Let's do 3 and 2. Smooth like butter, y'all. Last one. Foot comes down, square yourself off, and then roll all the way down. Hi, boo-boo. You're like, oh, this looks like the perfect time to get on here. Not during footwork, but when my hips are lifted. Thank you, I appreciate you. All right, bring your knees into your chest. Grab onto the back of your legs. Push the legs into the hands, but pull back with your arms. All right, and then when you're ready, you're gonna roll yourself up. How smooth can you make this roll up here? I'm gonna come up to balancing, all right? So if you're already at the edge, like if you're super long, don't go all the way up, right? So when I'm here, I'm gonna keep pushing my legs into my hands and pulling back with my arms. My shoulders are relaxed, and I'm thinking of my low belly trying to pull away from those thighs. And then with control, can you roll back, roll back, roll back. Slow, slow, slow. Let's do that again. The slower, the better. Exhale in those sticky spots. Roll up, roll up, roll up. Now, extra challenge. Can you keep the shape that you're in? Meaning my knees right now are pretty close to my chest, so I might move them away a little bit. Can you keep the shape? Can you keep the distance between chest and thighs as you roll back, roll back, roll back? And then once my head is down, I will give my knees a little pull in. And now thighs into hands. Keep this distance as you roll up. So a lot of times the legs want to like jut away. Ooh, that is so hard. But I get a really nice stretch in my back. Let's do that again. It's your bridge. We're just making it more ab work. Right? Again, push the legs into the hands. Pull back through the upper abdomen. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling my arms on this one. Last one here. We're really like 1.5 reps. Roll back, roll back, roll back. All right, this is it. Once you come up, I want you to stay up and we're gonna adjust your springs. Push, 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 push. Find balance at the top and then lower the legs down. Nice work. Alrighty, I told you tiny but mighty today. So light and a medium, light and a medium. For me, that is a red and a blue. I want you to place your foot bar all the way down, all the way down. Headrest can go back up if you like it up. And I think we're good. Lie down on your back, head into your headrest. Let's go hands into the short loops. If you want to make things, we'll leave it in the short loops. We'll do it. Okay, so my feet are gonna stay on the foot bar to start. I'm not jammed up into the shoulder blocks. Wrap your fists around, punch the fists up to the ceiling. Find that long line out through the crown of your head and down through your tailbone. My legs are zipped up here. I'm gonna think of sinking my ribs down and making my arms a little bit longer, like they could just reach up and touch the ceiling, all right? So let's go ahead now, exhale out all of your breath. And then as you inhale, can you hover your feet up off the foot bar, like 1 to 2 inches? Hold it, keep sinking the ribs, keep sinking the ribs. Hold, 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 and then lower back down. The lower, the harder this is gonna be. Now, if your back immediately was like, ooh, I don't like this today, feel free to imprint your spine, all right? Harder challenge I personally find is holding your natural neutral or holding your neutral spine, all right? So let's try that again. Wrap the fists around, sink the ribs down. You've got a broad collarbone. On your next inhale, hover the feet. Hover, squeeze your inner thighs together. Keep squeezing the inner thighs for 2 and 1, and then carefully lower down. We're gonna do that 2 more times, all right? So the lower, the harder, okie dokie. So again, wrap the fists around. Let's switch up the breath this time. Take a big breath in, and then on your exhale, hover the feet. And then keep breathing, of course. Keep punching the fists up. Keep drawing down through the base of the ribs for 2 and 1, and then lower down. Boy, oh boy, are those hard. Humbling, humbling. Last one here, I promise. Ribs down, fists up, legs together. Use your exhale. Hover the feet. Hover. Armpits are gliding down the sides of your body for 2 and 1, and then lower down. Holy cannoli. Temperature just went up like 5 degrees. Okie dokie. So keep your hands wrapping around the straps here. Bring your knees into your chest. Legs are super glued together, all right? Lower the arms all the way down and into the mat and pause. Find your chest expansion just like you did for footwork. So can you get the entire back of the arms into the mat while holding your neutral spine? And then float the arms all the way back up. So I know I said knees into the chest, but let's bring them out into more of a tabletop position. Lower the arms down. Strong reach out through your fists, and then float the arms back up. So I know in a lot of classes, a lot of studios, even myself, right, we do this a lot, this arms and straps. So for today, I really want you to slow things down and just see how still can you keep your legs, your spine, your pelvis, and then really work that connection of the arms to the back here. For 2, And last one, hold here. If it's available, could you curl your head, neck, and shoulders up? So my tailbone is still heavy, but now it's just my shoulder blades trying to lift off the mat, all right? Nothing else is gonna move. Can you float the arms up, 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 and then lower them back down? The straps are gonna wanna pull you back. Don't let it happen. Inhale up, exhale, pull back down. Remember, you can always lower your arms back down or lower your head back down. Exhale, pull the arms back down. 2 more. And then pull back down. Last one, broad collarbone, broad back, and then lower the arms down, and then lower the head down. Float the arms up, and just lower the feet down. Take a moment. Gonna swish the knees from side to side. All right, couple more things here. We're gonna add in some variation on single leg stretch, and then we're gonna move on to some other things, all right? So let's go back to that little hover, and that's how we're gonna bring our knees up into tabletop, right? Whew. So get your head around it. Wrap the fists around, sink those ribs down into the mat, all right? Use whatever breath pattern that you prefer, all right? So when you're ready, hover the feet, and then bring the legs into tabletop. Awesome work. Go ahead and lower the arms all the way back down again. Find your chest expansion. Reach your right leg straight out, right, as your left knee pulls in, all right? I'm gonna raise the arms up, and then as my arms come down, I'm gonna switch legs. Right knee pulls in, left leg goes out. As my arms come up, I'm gonna switch legs again, right? Knee in, leg out. Now, if you wanna up the ante, head, neck, and shoulders can be up. But just remember, the shape of your spine, position of your pelvis is not changing. We've done a good job at establishing it today. Should be ready to go. For 3 and 2. And the last one. Awesome. Come all the way down. Now we're gonna start with our right knee in, left leg out, arms are down. Find your head, neck, and shoulders up if that's for you. As the arms come up, we switch legs and back out. Strong arm to back connection. Equal weight into both hips. There's the stomach. There it is. Reach across the room with both arms and legs. Strong straight arm, y'all. For 3. There's the sweat. Last one. Reach, knees in, arms float up, and then lower the feet down with control, with control. Awesome. Hang up your straps. Shake it out. Nice work. All right, we're gonna do that roll up again, okay? Knees into your chest. Grab onto the back of the legs, all right? My elbows are wide, kind of like they're doing like a hug right now, okay? So push the legs into the hands, roll yourself up. Try not to use momentum. Good, come all the way up, and then legs come off to the side. Awesome work. So we're now gonna switch it to, I believe, 1 medium spring. Let's try that. We'll adjust if we need. Short box is gonna come on. Up against your shoulder blocks. So before we get seated on our box, let's place your foot bar back up. All right, so I'm gonna take the soles of my feet together so my knees kind of go wide here. I'm gonna pull my heels into the box. Okay, so before we get into those straps, I want you to take your hands onto the inside of your knee or thighs, okay? So I want you to sit up tall, and now I'm gonna push with my hands, but also push up with my knees. So right now I'm kind of giving myself a little inner thigh work, I guess. So find this happy medium between, like, my pinky toes are trying to stay together. My arms aren't winning this battle. It's kind of like a 50-50 here between my legs and my arms. All right, now keep the position of your legs. Take the hands off, right? So right now, if your inner thighs weren't at the party, the knees would just kind of fall open, right? So they're pushing up into resistance. I'm gonna reach back now. Find my long loops. Need to adjust, you adjust, all right? So again, knees are kind of lifted here. Palms are facing up to the ceiling. I'm gonna stack up tall on my sitting bones. And then I'm gonna reach my arms out and just hold and just reach, 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 and then bend the elbows back in. It's the same reach that you do when we're on our back. And I'm telling you to punch your fists up to the ceiling and pull your ribs into the mat. Same thing. And if you were lying down, the shoulder blocks would be telling you, oh, your shoulders are creeping up into the ears. So just kind of find that here. Oh, losing those inner thighs as I'm talking about all those other things. So I like an exhale as I reach forward. There's your teaser. And then inhale, bend back in. Exhale out. Inhale, bend back in. One more time like this. Reach out and then bend back in. Now I'm gonna switch up my grip. I'm gonna take my thumbs and hook them on the long loops. All right, I have a feeling I might need to adjust this spring. So I'm gonna hang in here for as long as I possibly can. So I'm gonna make fists with my hands. Again, elbows are kind of tucked in or pinned into me. Inner thighs at the party, I'm checking all these boxes. And now I'm gonna punch my fists out to kind of a high diagonal, all right? I'm gonna lower the arms down to the point where like my straps are hitting me, I can't really go any further. And then I'm gonna lift my arms up, 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 and then just bend the elbows back in, all right? Kind of a variation on rowing front. I'm gonna punch out. I'm gonna keep reaching out through my fist as my arms lower. They're gonna lift, keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching, and then bend the elbows back in, all right? The broader you think about making your collarbone and keeping that space between your shoulder blades is gonna help keep you out of your neck. So let's do it a couple more times here. Inner thighs at the party, elbows pinned in, punch out. Lower the arms down, get taller, taller, taller. Arms lift, 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 and then bend the elbows back in. Nice work. Last one here. We punch out, nice control, lower the arms down. Good, there's a point where the carriage kind of stops moving. Hold on to that for as long as you can. Reach, 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 and then bend the elbows back in. Nice work. I'm gonna switch up the grip again. So now my palms are in and kind of facing up in this bent elbow position. Now, for a hug, I'm gonna bring my hands together. You can either make fists or long fingertips, totally up to you. Once again, find your inner thighs, heels are pulling into the box. I'm gonna open my arms out and then hug my fists back in. Inhale, open. Exhale, hug back in. Let's add some movement here. So as my arms go wide, I'm gonna find just a little baby extension. And then as I exhale, hug the arms back in, I'm gonna round, pull back through the belly, and then arms open, puff up my chest a little bit, and then exhale, pull back through the ribs and the center spine. 2 more here. Those shoulders are on fire. Exhale, hug back in. Create as much space between fists and sternum as you can, y'all. Last one, hang in there with me. Sides of the neck are long, hug it in, open the arms back out wide. Awesome, and go ahead and hang out your straps. Ooh, I did not have to go down to that blue. I'm kind of surprised. All right, so seated kind of in the middle of your box, I want you to take your toes onto your foot bar wide. So I'm in a little bit of a turnout here. I'm gonna straighten my legs. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna keep pushing my feet forward, all right? I'm gonna reach my arms forward, kind of in line with my shoulders. So I'm gonna think of them pressing down into a table so they're active here. I'm gonna stack up tall. Big breath in here. On your exhale, I want you to round forward. So flex forward, pull back through the belly, curl the tailbone under, keep pushing the foot bar away. And then from tail to crown, stack your spine up tall, tall, tall. Good, again. Round, round, round. Check your feet, make sure they look the same, right? Round, 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 and then stack back up. This is your spine stretch, all right? Again, exhale up and over. So how much space can you create between belly, ribs, and thighs? Or can you imagine, right? And then come all the way up. Now, I want you to go as far forward as you can, all right? Try not to collapse too much, but really work that stretch, all right? Especially for my tight people, all right? Again, exhale up and over. So instead of thinking going up, I said up and over. Instead of going like up and over, I'm just gonna go forward. I'm just gonna go for it. Reach, 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 and then stack back up. All right, now take the arms out to a high letter T. Once again, if I was there with you, right, and if I was to push your arms right now, would you fall over? Would your arms move? All right, so again, like really, really strong arm connection. Carriage doesn't move, legs don't move. Twist your body to the left. Lift, 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 and then come back to center. Lift and twist to the right. You lift, 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 and then back to center. You got it. Again, lift, 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 back to center. Lift up tall. So find your upper back muscles to open up the front of your ribs here. And then back to center. Boy, oh boy, that feels so good. Equal weight down through your hips. You have one more. Lift up tall. Open up your wingspan. Lift, lift, lift. Back to center. Lower those heavy arms down. Holy cannoli. It's amazing. No resistance. All right, so we're gonna stay on this spring. Just want you to spin around. I'm gonna drop my headrest down. Feet onto the headrest here. Alrighty, so I'm gonna scoot forward because we're still on a short box, so I just wanna make sure I've got some space behind me. If you've got super long legs, you feel jammed up, right? Find your happy medium, okay? So I'm gonna take my long loops, put them kind of into my elbow creases here. I'm gonna sit up tall and elbows are bent at 90. Now, if you start to get like really into your neck, just drop the elbows down a little bit. No worries, okay? So again, legs are hugging together, my feet are pushing down into the headrest. I'm gonna keep this shape of my spine and then just open the arms out and then pull back in. So if you've ever been to the gym, you've seen those machines, kind of like a chest fly or a back fly, and your arms are at this 90-degree bend, kind of the same thing. And just let the palms rotate naturally, wherever they wanna go for you. Let's do two. Last one, now we're just gonna switch it up, okay? So I'm gonna open my arms out wide, but now I'm gonna kind of pull my elbows down a little bit so my chest can roll open. Maybe my gaze goes up a little bit. And then I'm gonna stack my spine back up to that tall, flat back, arms come back in. So it's kind of like a flow into it. My elbows are gonna think of pulling down to my hips a little bit. And then arms come back up and then back in. And what I really want you to connect to, even if you're not feeling it, is the space or the muscles just below your shoulder blades, but also kind of in between. All right, so it's not quite like upper back, it's kind of like the middle of your back, just below the shoulder blades. And also my shoulders are talking to me, but this should feel really good. Oh, last one. And then back to center. Now keep the arms up at 90, all right? Keep the flat back, and now hinge back, hinge back, hinge back, hinge back, and then lift yourself back up. And for this one, let's actually turn the palms facing in. You can have long fingertips or fists, up to you. Inhale, hinge back, go back, and then lift yourself back up. Kind of a play on rowing back, all right? Inhale takes you back. And then exhale lifts you up, up, up. Two more like this. Keep those ribs in. We stretch back and then lift back up. Last one here, focus on that stable shoulder girdle. Inhale takes you back, elbows hugging and narrow. And then exhale lifts you all the way up, up, up. Oh, shoulders, hello. I'm just gonna round forward and take just a quick moment. Okay, so now I'm gonna hold on to the long loops with my hands, all right? Arms are gonna reach forward. Okay, so right now there's no tension. Okay, if you need to choke up, you choke up. Arms are gonna stay relatively straight, and I'm gonna roll my pelvis away from my thighs. All right, find spring tension. I feel like it's hitting me right where I need assistance. And then roll yourself all the way up, up, up. Again, like I said, choke up if you need, all right? Roll the pelvis away from your thighs. Push into the headrest. Roll back, and then roll yourself all the way up. Crazy, I think I'm centered, but I'm really not. All right, again, arms reaching forward. Roll yourself back. Feel like you're not only pushing down into the headrest, but sliding it away from you. And then roll back up, up, up. All right, so we're gonna add in some stuff here. My shoulders are getting a little tired, so I'm gonna talk a little bit and make it seem like I don't need a break. All right, so we're gonna add a little back fly to this, and then we're gonna add some legs if you want. Okay, arms are out, soft bend to the elbows this time. I'm gonna roll back. Again, pull back through those upper abdominals. All right, so nothing else is gonna move, only the arms are gonna move. Open the arms out a little bit, and then pull the arms back in. So I'm not going crazy wide, only because I know that if I do, my upper traps and my neck is gonna get a little cranky. So pubic bone back to navel, crown of the head on the ceiling. 2. And last one, arms come together and then roll yourself all the way up. Nice work. Boy, oh boy, my shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. So now we're gonna add the leg if you'd like. Okay, we're only gonna do 4 on each side. So just know that if you're keeping your legs down, you do 8 total. Okie dokie. So I want you to roll back. Think of getting your waistband into the mat first, even though, right, it may not happen, right, because of the box. So I'm gonna straighten my right leg out, all right? I'm gonna turn that leg out strong. Like think inner thigh shining up to the ceiling. I'm now gonna hug my legs together, all right? The higher the leg, I personally find harder. So wherever you've picked with the leg, don't let it move, all right? Open the arms out a little bit and then bring them back in. Spine and pelvis don't move either. Round, round, round. There's 2. Last one, arms come in, stay in your roll back. Left leg goes out, strong turn out. Turn it out like crazy, 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 crazy. Now go out and in with the arms. Right now I'm punching you in the gut. Pull away from my fist. Reach that big toe to the wall in front of you. I think this is the last one. Arms come in, foot comes down, and then roll yourself all the way up. All right, I'm gonna hang up my right strap. I am now going to reach my right arm through my loop just so it's not flopping everywhere and grab onto where my straps converge into one. We'll start there, okay? So once again, legs are zipped up. My pelvis legs are gonna try to stay square. All right, so I'm gonna round forward like my right hand is reaching for the left corner of my carriage, right? And then my left arm is gonna reach back behind me, right? Again, find your upper back muscles to twist you. And then from tail to crown, I'm gonna stack my spine up, find spring tension. My right arm is gonna row out to the side as my left arm reaches forward. I'm gonna think of spiraling up, 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 and then back to center, right? Smoothly finds no spring tension. Right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Find your inner thighs. Tail to crown, stack back up. Right elbow out to the side, left arm reaches forward. I want you to find those same muscles that you found for those like back flies, those bent elbow back flies. Reach forward, big stretch. Open up your wingspan. Tail to crown, stack back up. Lift, lift, lift. Last one. Round up and over. Right arm goes to the left arm goes back. Spiral up. Think of getting taller, taller, taller. taller. Awesome. And then other side. So hang up that strap. My left hand now is going to go through the strap, grab onto that webbing. Again, you know you can always choke up, less, more, all the things, right? So I'm going to round forward. Weight is still equal into my hips, into my feet. Right arm reaches back, tail to crown, stack back up. Left elbow out to the side, right arm reaches forward. So right now my legs kind of have to separate because the strap is going through them, but they're not just relaxing and falling out to the side. Round up and over. Make this smooth. I just felt my carriage slam because I lost a little bit of control. Smooth like butter. There it is. Round up and over. Broad collarbone at the top. Open up your chest to that wall to your right now. Last one here. Up and over. So think ribs off thighs as you round forward. And tail to crown, kind of like your spine stretch, just adding a little twist to it. Spiral up, up, up. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and hang that up. We're now going to switch it to a long box, and we're going to stay on this spring. We'll stay on it, see how we feel. Long box on, lie on your stomach to where my head or my forehead face is kind of just over the foot bar here. So hands are on wide, my legs are zipped up together. I want you to think of pulling the foot bar apart so the elbows stretch across the sides of the room, and that should hopefully create some space in your upper back. My legs are zipped up, my pubic bone is driving down, and I'm thinking of there being like a second box behind me. So my legs are like just barely hovering off that second box. All right, keeping all those 1,000 things, I want you to press the carriage out to straight arms. When you're here, it's not like how far out you can go, it's really how far out can you go, but keeping the sides of your neck long, right? So I'm gonna still think of pulling apart on the foot bar and then bend your elbows, come all the way in. Press it out, keep trying to break that foot bar, and then drag it all the way in. Legs are zipped up. Pull the foot bar apart. Bend the elbows wide, come all the way home. Now we press it out. All right, think of those elbow creases trying to shine up to the ceiling a little bit. And now push down into your palms. Let the ribs come with you as you rise up into a little bit of extension. Chest reaches forward and then lengthen back down. Once you're in your long line, bend the elbows wide. Press it right back out. Pull apart on that foot bar. Rise up. So those back flies that we did, these are the muscles I want you to tap into. Lengthen back down. Bend the elbows wide, come in. Right there's your shave. Press it out. Rise up. Broad collarbones. Think length over height when we go into extension, y'all. And then lengthen all the way back down. Bend the elbows wide, come home. Last one here. Hold out here in your long line, okay? Can you pull your heels to your seat and pause here? When you're here, your tailbone is long, your pubic bone is reaching in towards the box. Now with all of that, could you lift your knees up just a smidge more? Good, now keep that with your lower half. Could you now rise up into a little baby extension here? Think like your toes are trying to go up and over to your head. And then as you lengthen back out, just straighten the legs. 2 more. Pull the heels to your seat and then rise up. Broad collarbone. And then lengthen back out. Legs go straight. Last one here. Pull your heels to your seat. Think knees reaching away from your hips. Chest reaches forward, shoulders roll open. And then lengthen back out. Legs go straight. Let them hang down. Let your head hang down through your arms. And then take your right hand to the left side of the carriage and really push that foot bar away. And just get a little baby twist, little baby stretch. And then right hand to the foot bar, left hand to the frame. And I'm just gonna push with my right hand and kind of pull with my left, letting my legs just hang heavy. And then come back to center, both hands on. Bring the carriage all the way home. And go ahead and step off. And you are done. I appreciate you today. I hope you felt things. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments as always. And if you are enjoying this content, please subscribe.